Hope I'm done. Okay, thank you so much. Now, what do I want? I'm going to share my screen. Okay, let's finish the syllabus today. What are we going to do? We're going to start from objective 19.4. Open your notes because sometimes I add something here and there. I'll send you all the additions I do. I do additions every year. Every year I have to add a word, a sentence, a picture. I'll send you all the additions so that you are up to date and you will have the new notes that I'm going to distribute next year. The additions are very small, maybe a page, another new diagram or a table, whatever. Okay, now we are still in human impact and we want to know how this will affect the population. Objective 7. It tells you here, explain factors that lead to each phase in the sigmoid curve of population growth, making reference when appropriate to the role of limiting factors. So here the word limiting factors is very important and it has to be in every answer. And we took this graph before, and we took this graph when we studied the bacteria in the fermenter, remember? We said that we put the bacteria that we want in the fermenter and we provide suitable conditions so that the bacteria multiplies. But the bacteria will not multiply forever. The bacteria grows slowly at first and then grows very, very quickly. And then the growth rate becomes constant. And then the bacteria will start to die, even if I give it everything it needs. This graph is divided into those parts. The first part is called the lag phase. Lag means it's slow. So here, the bacteria or the population of any organism, it will increase with time. But here I use the word slowly or slow population rate. Slow growth rate. Why? There are reasons that you will need to memorize and they apply to any population. Why do they grow slowly? We took it before. Yes, they're still adapting. So here you'll write the word, they are still adapting. Did they reach reproductive age? No, they did not reach reproductive age. They're still very little in number and they're still growing. They're still children and they're still growing. They still did not reach puberty. For any population, rabbits, dogs, anything. Clear? Now here, there is called exponential growth. The population of whatever organism is growing quickly, quickly, quickly. Nothing is stopping it. Here you will say no limiting factors. Nothing is stopping the population from growing. Okay? We have food, we have oxygen, we have water, we have space, we have the health, we reached reproductive age, fine. Good. Here is the constant phase or stationary phase in which the death equals the birth. And because here limiting factors started to have an effect. What are the limiting factors? Exactly. High temperature, accumulation of waste products, it became very acidic, less food, less water, less space. We're starting to grow old. Very easy. Okay? And here this phase is the decline or the death phase, where the death is more than the birth. Why? Because the food is finishing, the space is getting consumed, less oxygen. Is anything hard about that? No. But you see lots of questions on this. Now we talk about temperature and its effect on the bacterial population. Exactly the same as enzymes, because bacteria, they have enzymes. We took it 100 times. Low temperature, how does it affect enzymes? Slow. It slows the bacteria. So it slows the enzymes, it slows the bacteria. When the temperature is nice and warm, the bacteria will multiply. It's very happy because the enzymes will react and they will work at their optimum rate. And then when the temperature is very high, the bacteria will die because the enzymes will denature. So bacteria and enzymes, when it comes to temperature, are the same thing. Good. And also the bacteria, just like the enzymes, they are affected by pH. Very acidic pH. If the bacteria is not familiar to that, the bacteria will die. Okay. Like when we are at home, we use chlorine and we use lots of detergents to wash our homes. Why? Because they're very acidic and they kill the bacteria. Like these detergents that you use at home, they're not hot. Yes? The chlorine and the Clorox, and they're very acidic or they're very alkaline. And this is one way that you will denature the enzymes in the bacteria and kill the bacteria. So the bacteria dies from very high temperature or too acidic or too basic. Okay? And this is what we use at home when we come to clean our house. We use detergents that are too acidic or too basic. Or we boil the water that we will clean with. These two things They kill bacteria and the enzymes in the bacteria. Why? There was a question asking me, why doesn't the food go bad as quickly when we put the food in the fridge? Why? Yes, the enzymes in the bacteria, mention the word enzymes and the bacteria. The bacteria that are responsible for making the food go bad, those bacteria that break down the food, they are slow, they are alive, they're not dead, but they're slow. In their freezer, they're dormant. That's why when you get the food out of the freezer and you put it on the counter in a warm environment, the food can go bad. But in the freezer, the food is not going to go bad because the bacteria are dormant. They're not working, but they're not dead. They will be dead, high temperature, high pH, or very, very low, very acidic or very alkaline. Anything hard? Okay. Now, explain the process of eutrophication in water. This we explained it in year 9 because that was the common objective. This is what I was telling you, that year 9 is exactly the same as year 10 when it comes to ecology with additions. So you studied only from year 10, it's enough. Now, eutrophication, we mentioned it, but let's revise it. First, we have something that we throw in the water until it looks like this finally. What do we throw in the water? Two things. Either sewage, yes, or? Yes, exactly. Fertilizers, very important to mention that because both of them, what do they have to encourage the growth of the algae? Which nutrients, which organic nutrients? There's, yes, a specific ion, the nitrates, because the sewage and the fertilizers, they have organic compounds, mainly nitrates. And nitrates are food for plants. Nitrates are food for the microscopic plants, which are algae. This is algae, this green, slimy, microscopic plant. Now, when I receive lots of nitrates, I'm the algae, I'm going to overgrowth. Yes, you're correct. I'm going to reproduce by asexual reproduction, and I will grow and grow and grow and grow and grow until I make this algae curtain, this green curtain. The one you see here, see? It's very obvious. This ugly, green, slimy curtain on top of the river. This will block the what? Sun. Who will die? The plants first in order. The plants will die, and anything that dies will be decomposed. Mention, talk about it. Decomposition. This is going to consume the oxygen. Decomposition is the same as respiration, but the only difference is that we change the type of food. Okay, so in case you forgot, this is the food plus oxygen to give me carbon dioxide and water. This is decomposition. It's exactly the same as respiration, but the difference is that the nature of the food changed. The food here is dead organic matter. Clear? So the decomposition, you can write the equation, the balanced chemical equation for respiration, and say it will break down that organic matter. Be very generous in your answer. Good. And this is going to cause a decrease in the oxygen levels or oxygen depletion. Who will die next? Fish, because they cannot survive without oxygen. With time, you will have this river that has no life, no plants, no fish. It's full of bacteria. It's full of algae. It spreads disease, nothing good about it. I cannot drink it. I cannot use it for irrigation. I cannot use it for cleaning. I cannot use it. It's completely useless. This water will only cause disease. Clear? This is eutrophication. In ecology, there are major keywords that are very important. Deforestation, eutrophication, livestock. You know what's livestock, yeah? When I have a farm full of sheep and full of cows, what are the advantages? What are the disadvantages? The advantages and the disadvantages of conservation. Why do I have to conserve species that are endangered? The questions are repetitive. I actually have a nice question, picture here. Did you see this? Did you see the order? It's quick. First, I have fertilizers or sewage, and then algae overgrowth. This is the green curtain. And then the light is blocked. And then I have this final result, an ugly river that is full of pollution. Good. Let's see, I want to show you that 9 and 10 are the same. Explain how forests can be conserved using education, protected areas, quotas, and what? And replanting. Fine. Please memorize this sentence. You'll find it also written exactly like this. Education. This is education. We have to take care of our Omar. We have to take care of our earth. We have to conserve the animals. We don't want to lose our biodiversity. We have to protect the areas using laws, government laws. You're not allowed to come here with a car. You're not allowed to step with your feet. You're not allowed to throw rubbish. You're not allowed to light a fire. Quotas. Now, this is the addition, fish quotas. We'll talk about it today. and replanting. I will cut down a tree. I have to plant another tree instead of the one that I cut down. Okay, so today, or the only addition for year 10 is the fishing quotas. Very easy. Okay, sustaining forest. We just said it. I want to sustain the forest. We said always when you see the word sustain means to keep, to take care of. Okay, I will replant. I'm not going to cut down baby trees. I think I said it in the online and last time and today. Protection, protected areas. I will not come next to this area. Quotas. What is a quota? A quota means if I want to hunt something or cut down something, I have a limited number set to me by the government. And this is very applicable when it comes to fishing. Okay, let's talk about fishing quotas here. Please memorize this sentence. Forest or anything can be conserved. If they ask about conservation, education, protected areas, quotas, and replanted, and take every word and discuss a little bit. Because this is copy-pasted from the syllabus. I did not make it up. Clear? Now quotas. Let's talk about, this is the addition. If you have your notes, just mark that this is the addition. The fishing quotas. Everything is common between 9 and 10. Fishing quotas. Now, this happens. Did I show you the picture of the too much fish being in the other PowerPoint? I did. I did. I showed you a picture of lots of fish being fished. We're fishing fish. I definitely did. You did not attend the online. You did not attend school. Where is the lots of fish being fished? Where is the fish being fished? I showed you. No, I showed you. This is the, this is sewage. Oh, yes, I showed you. Overfishing, overharvesting. I showed you. Yes. Huh? Yes, this is overfishing. This is overfishing. This is overharvesting. The same idea. I overhunt, I overfish. So what will happen to the population of organism? It will decrease. So this, the government wants to stop you from this. This is called overfishing. If you do this every month, there will be no fish in the sea and you will destroy the food web. Okay? And you will destroy the fish population, which is very profitable to the economy. So the government will tell you, sorry, you're not allowed. And we will prepare a fishing quota. What is the fishing quota? You are only allowed to fish 1 ton of fish every 6 months. You're not allowed to fish more than that. Number 2, you will only fish in June because we need to give time for the fish to breed. You will only fish in certain areas of the sea. You will not fish here because here we have rare fish and we don't want you to kill this fish. Okay? Shahid, are you with me? Okay. Number 4, we will use a special net. You know the fishing net? This fishing net will have holes with a particular size. Why? So that the baby fish can escape and the big fish only will be captured. Because we don't want to fish the baby fish. We want to give time and we want to give a chance for the baby fish to reproduce. They always ask about the fishing quotas, and this is set by every government in every country so that this doesn't happen, the overfishing, because if it happens, you will destroy the fishing resource in the river. If this happens in the River Nile, we will completely destroy our fish resources, and it's a resource to a lot of countries. Okay, this is food for lots of people. So if I leave the fishermen to fish whenever they want, with the quantities they want, this is a big problem. This is very wrong. So this is the addition that is in year 10. This objective. Explain how fish stocks can be conserved. What does the word conserved mean? Maintain, to take good care of them. Memorize those 7. Copy paste from the marks team. Fishing quotas. I'm going to control and monitor the number of fish. Okay, it's in bold, the keyword. Certain number, 1 ton of fish every 6 months, not more than that. And you will control the size of the net or the mesh size. This, see, here, those big fish cannot escape, but the small fish, they can escape. So I'm going to create nets with a particular size so that the baby fish can run away and the big fish are trapped. Okay, this is the fishing net. I'm going to control the net type and the fishing net. Net holes should be wide enough for young fish to escape to allow them to escape and breed. Easy? Easy. Closed seasons. In this season, no, you're not allowed to fish. You will only fish in June to give time for them to breed. Restocking. Some countries, they have artificial rivers in which they will grow fish. When I do lots of fishing from the sea, I'm going to restock the fish in the sea from the fish I have. Sometimes we have fish farms and we use it to grow fish, either to sell it in the market or to put it back in the sea to do restocking. Okay? And gives it a chance to breed in my fish farm. And then when I have a good population, I'll throw it back to the sea. Okay, this is called restock. Educating fishermen. If we are all fishermen, the government will talk to them. Don't fish here. Don't fish at this time of the year. You have a certain number of fish to fish, and don't fish when you want to fish. Okay? Net holes, you have to make a certain size because we want the baby fish to escape. Protected areas, no fishing in certain areas because I have rare fish here and I don't want you to kill my fish. Good? So ecology is really. Now describe the reasons for conservation programs. Again, this is an objective on its own. Why do we conserve? To not affect our food chains, to preserve our biodiversity so that plants are not extinct, so that animals are not extinct, so that I prevent extinction, to keep, I don't damage my food chain, protecting our future supplies, so that I have resources for the future. I don't even think you need to study anything. 8, another objective. Describe the use of AI and in vitro fertilization in captive breeding programs. Now, this is important. Did I discuss this with you or with the other class? Okay, these are not canceled. AI and in vitro fertilization is not canceled. I don't know who said that. I think you did. Okay, you're the one who's spreading rumors. Teeth is canceled. In vitro is canceled. You don't want to study it, don't study it.
I didn't say it's canceled. I said you got to study it.
You don't want to study it. It's your decision. Leave the others. Leave them alone. Okay, so you have a clear objective that mentions these two terms. This means that you have to know them, and they say describe. Describe, not state. Every term has a meaning. Describe means elaborate. So you need to know those steps. You need to know them. We studied them in sexual reproduction. Now we do this with animals also, artificial selection. Let's remind you. I'm going to get the sperm from the male. I'm going to screen it and wash it. Wash it means I'm going to choose the strong sperm. I'm going to put it inside the female's body at the time of her ovulation and her fertilization period to increase the chances of conception. I will put the sperm inside her body so that I increase the chances of breeding. I can do this in humans and I can do this with endangered animals. Yes? Now, our in vitro fertilization, everything is done outside. I'll take out the egg, I'll take out the sperm, and the fertilization will happen in a petri dish outside the body, in the lab. Okay? And then I will give the embryos some time to divide. I'm going to screen the embryos. I'm going to choose the strongest embryo. I'll put it back into the female's body. This can be done in humans if they don't have or they cannot have children, or they can be done with rhinoceros, a plant or an animal that is an animal, of course, that is endangered. I don't want the rhino to become endangered. I have 3 rhinos on Earth. If I have a male and a female rhino, I can do these in captive breeding so that I conserve. What is captive breeding? I will captivate the animal, not to kill it, to take good care of it, to encourage it to breed, to prevent extinction. So here you have 3 keywords: AI, artificial insemination, in vitro fertilization, captive breeding. Are those 3 clear? Okay. Explain the risks to a species if the population is very low. You need to memorize them. Overhunting. Now, an endangered species is at risk of becoming extinct. The reasons for being extinct and the dangers. This is in the year 10 syllabus. Why did they become extinct? Because there is overhunting or overfishing, lots of predation, global warming and climate change, lots of pollution. They lost their homes. Example, deforestation. Deforestation is very important. Introduction of a non-native species that came and ate its food. Spread of disease, no food and water, no resources, lack of pollinators when it comes to plants, or I kill the plants in deforestation. I cannot find another partner to breed. So especially in organisms that breed by sexual reproduction, they need a partner. No partner, they cannot breed. The last slide. Endangered species can be helped by conservation. This is so common. I will educate, I will captivate them, and I will breed them. I'm going to monitor by certain laws, legislation or laws. Seed banks, I'm going to put rare seeds in a bank. Sperm banks, in vitro fertilization, artificial insemination is an answer. I will do this with endangered animals. These are some endangered animals, and don't ask me what they are. I just searched for endangered animals and I got this and this and this. So we can do these with these animals so that they don't go extinct. Now, what happens if there is a population of animals that is very low? Okay, so these are three different types of questions. What will cause extinction? What will be the result of extinction, like this? And the other question, how can we prevent extinction? These are three different types of questions, each one out of 4 marks with different answers. If there is extinction, if there is a decrease in the size of the population, Omar, something called inbreeding will happen. Now we need to stop a little bit at inbreeding. What is inbreeding? Means animals that are siblings, they will breed. Yes, and this will increase the chances for the spread of genetic diseases. I want you to write it down here. It increases the risk of genetic disease and mutation. Because if you have like a group of puppies and the dogs, they are siblings and they mate, if there is a genetic disease in those group of puppies, it will be passed on. There's a higher chance for genetic disease to be passed on. But ده مش asexual, it's sexual. But because always the same disadvantages of less variation. Very smart. I think I mentioned the inbreeding before, and I told you that we will discuss it here. If I have only 2 rhinos that are brother and sister in animals, it's okay to make the brother and sister breed together. But I don't have any other rhino. This is the only choice I have. Now, the problem is that, you know, the disadvantages of lack of variation, the same list of disadvantages, even though it is sexual, but because very little variation, brother and sister, they look the same. If there is any changes in the environment, they will not adapt. Less variation. If there is a genetic disease, it will definitely appear in the children. If there is a mutation, it will definitely appear in the children. Okay? Clear? Reduced ability to survive changes in the environment, increased risk of extinction, the same disadvantages of lack of variation, the same. If you remember, there were 6. Less variation, less adaptation, higher chances to die from disease, higher chances to not find a mate, higher chances to spread the same genetic disease. If there are favorable characteristics, they will be passed on. And if there are disfavorable characteristics, also they will be passed on. Good? We have a small population, difficult to locate each other, can't find a mate, or they're too old to breed. That's if I have very little number of population. Like these white tigers are very rare. Okay? I have to help them. And it's very dangerous to have only 2 or 3 on Earth. And I don't know what this is. Then, did we talk about the pyramid of energy and the pyramid of number? Okay? Because this is also in year 10. So we did, and we discussed the advantages and disadvantages. And in the pyramid of biomass, you get the dry mass, which is not easy. You have all this there, objective by objective. And please use the term efficient or not efficient. Good? Done? Syllabus finished? Bah? Okay. Now, what are we going to do? We will solve. And we will revise. We will not waste time.
5 minutes.
Yes. 5? I never gave you 5. Celebration, yani?
Oh, yeah.